Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and it is time to have a massive rant about Galactic Legends Leia being in the game right now. So we're just going to go over to my channel members real quick, thank them for their support. I really appreciate all their, financial support they give this channel. If you're interested in joining, link in the description down below. Otherwise, all I can ask is that you guys could please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. We're in a really bad mood. Let's go. So 2 days ago, we got the Galactic Legends Leia kit reveal. And then now, all of a sudden, like, the next day, she's in the game. Which is insane to me. Like, there was no at all warning. Just all of a sudden, Leia's in the game. Like, they didn't even, like, it just was, it felt so rushed. And it's so funny that this coincides with, they released her on, what, September 13th. So we're almost halfway through the final month of Q3. You cannot tell me that this decision was not completely made up by them needing to have better results in Q3. There will be nothing else that you can convince me of that the only reason this character is in the game right now is that Q3 results need to be better from a financial perspective. Because let's just talk about something. I created this squad here, right, to just paint the picture of the current state of the requirements that they released for Galactic Legends Leia. So, oops, there we go. Misclicking everywhere, I'm so mad. All right. We did have plenty of time to get Rex. I think the amount of time they gave us to get Rex to 7-star is perfectly okay with the bonus drops, right? No issues there. But the rest of these is the biggest FU of all time. I'm going to pause here for a second just to tell a little story, a little anecdote of what I think this is like. If any of you have ever seen Goodfellas, there's a scene where this guy, he has a restaurant and he wants to partner with a mobster. So he convinces this mobster to be his business partner for his restaurant. And the narrator is saying, like, so now this guy has Paulie as his, partner. But Paulie, all he wants is his money. So, your restaurant caught fire? Screw you, pay me. I'm paraphrasing. Oh, your freezer broke and all your food went bad? Screw you, pay me. Oh, your chef quit, you don't have anybody to make food for you? Screw you, pay me. That's what this feels like. It feels like Capital Games is simply saying, screw you to 99.9% of the player base, pay me or you're not getting this character right now. And I don't have a problem that not all the characters are on the nodes, but we're going to talk about a little bit of them. So one, Nisa, it's the same day. It is the same day. She's on a node the same day that Leia gets released. Are you kidding me? Like, that is so, there's 4 characters here. So, like, the second character you need gets a node the same day the Galactic Legend happens to get released in the game. I think that is way too soon. I'm not a fan of that at all. I think a lot of players are going to be, like, should be upset about that. Scout Trooper hit shipments the next day, like that same day. Like, I don't have a problem if this was the last character you needed, but you need Drogon. If you're poor, you're not getting Drogon. Like, it just ain't happening. He's going to be another month till he's in shipments and another month till he's on a node. I think they're a month ahead of where they should have released this character. I personally feel that they should have waited for Drogon to go to shipments before releasing Leia. That's all. They're a month ahead of where they should be, and that's why I say that I think this was completely financially driven around trying to get better results for Q3, because they're hoping when they release the new raid in Q4 that bumps revenue up as well. So I'm very upset with this. I feel that this is a huge money grab. Like, my friend even said it, like, this is the greatest money grab of all time. It just is the greatest money grab that Capital Games has ever pulled. Especially with how quickly this was released. There was all the bugs that they had. They had all these known issues of the event wasn't working properly. Coors Light Leia's nodes stopped being accelerated. It feels so rushed. They took no time at all, I feel, to get this in the game. So I'm very disappointed in Capital Games. I feel that, and it's not the free-to-play players I feel bad for. It's not free-to-plays. I feel bad for the guys who were willing to spend, that $100 on Drogon and Scout Trooper when they hit shipments to go and get Leia. But now, the only way you're getting Drogon is if you get super lucky or you are willing to spend about 300 crystals to buy his marquee packs. That's the only way you're getting Drogon, is spending a lot of money. I'm not okay with that. I think that is so predatory by Capital Games. Like, even if you bought this pack. So $50 gets you 25 shards there. $20 gets you 25 shards there. Another $20 gets you 30 shards here. So you could get, for what, like $90, you're looking at what? 25, 50, 80 shards there for money, and then you could buy your crit. Like, I'm very upset with that. I feel this is ridiculous. I'm not at all a fan of the way that they've done this. I think it's a month too early. I think Drogon should have at least been in shipments for Leia to get released, because it gives, there's only one class of players getting Leia right now, and that is anybody who is in any kind of position to either have all of their crystals hoarded up that they could wail on Drogon with everybody else done, or the people who just spend the money to do it. And so you're alienating a lot of the players who spend money by doing it this way. And for people who are thinking, okay, what's going to happen is, I'll get Scout Trooper and then maybe I'll do a little bit of wailing on Drogon. Like, now, are you even going to do that with Scout Trooper, knowing that you're that far away? I don't see this making more money for them than if they would have waited another month. Because people they're not going to spend right now. Like, what's the purpose of even spending on Scout Trooper right now if you can't even get to Drogon yet? So I think this is so ridiculous. I am in a tirade if you can't tell. And the fact that the event was broken is even worse. Like, after the disaster, which we'll get to this as well, after the disaster that was the Leviathan release, you couldn't even get this one right. You couldn't check all your check your boxes, cross your T's, dot your I's. You couldn't do any of that. It blows my mind. And it's the players who were willing to maybe soft whale that I feel bad for. Because they're now, like, what incentive do they have to spend money even on Scout Trooper at this point? Because you still need to wait a whole nother month until that happens to Drogon. So I'm not at all pleased by this, and I think it was going to keep a lot of players from actually spending. I think they'll see a quick uptick here in the first couple of days, and then it's just going to taper off. So I think this is ridiculous. The fact that the event was broken is even more ridiculous. Like, how many players do you think are just like, why did I even do this for? So I'm not at all, I feel that they really, really messed this up. Now, also, like, in all of their little updates, they updated the Leviathan because it needed updated because it wasn't performing the way that they wanted it to. So, in effect, what they did was they added Isolate to this, where is it at? If the capital ship is light side, dispel all buffs on target enemy, inflict Isolate on them for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. So, this ship needed to get better against Profundity, so we're going to add Isolate. And then, on top of that, enemies attacking out of turn can't critically hit Sith enemies. We're going to add that as well to basically really halt the Profundity counter, make it a lot more difficult for you to, get that done. I think this is overboard. I think if they added one or the other, it would have been fine. Like, if they simply just added enemies attacking out of turn can't critically hit, or if they added this Isolate, I think there'd be a little bit more balance here. Like, still give the Profundity a fighter's chance. I think now it's going to be a lot of RNG in terms of, can your Profundity beat this? You're obviously going to need 7 stars. But I'm a Leviathan owner. Like, this benefits me. This benefits me more than it hurts me, and I still think it's ridiculous. And the part that, like, really got me, right, the part that really, really pissed me off was when this update went out, and then this morning, I got all these packs for Leviathan characters, right? All of a sudden, you go into the store, and there were all these bonus packs in here, right? Hey, get these characters up. Like, look, get this. Like, it really, really seemed like another money grab. That you've got a week until the Leviathan event is here today. They just put in all these things. So now, if you don't have Leviathan and you're struggling in Fleet Arena against it, guess what? You're going to be even worse unless you're willing to spend the money. So I think this whole thing is ridiculous to me. I'm not at all a fan of the way that they did this. I'm not at all a fan of, like, any of it. And if you're a free-to-play, what does this even mean for you, right? Like, how do you even start to figure out what to do with your Rex? Because you're going to be in a situation now where you're waiting 2 months until Drogon has a node. Now, we don't know where that node is, but 2 months. And another month until Scout Trooper has a node. So now you're looking at November time frame for Drogon to be on a node. November time frame before you can even start farming him regularly. This is horrible. I think this is one of the worst things they've done because it sets a precedent, right? This sets the precedent that every single thing they release now, they're going to do it before all of the ways for the vast majority of players to interact with it is in the game. Like, think about it. This would be the equivalent. This is the truly, like, again, this is the way I would think. Like, this is the way I'm looking at this. Is that you think with Leviathan, they waited around a little bit, right? They waited around a little bit before Leviathan was farmable. This would have been that, hey, Leviathan is going active. The second conquest ends for Fury Class Interceptor, right? That would have been the way they did this. Oh, hey, Leviathan's up and running now. Time to go get it. You know, that for, hey, Jedi Knight Cal, right, where's he at? Jedi Knight Cal, hey, we just released the last character. Oh, and now he's in the game too. That's what this is. And that's the precedent they're setting, and that's what scares me. That is what scares me, is that before, there was always time for you to try and farm all the things before that was available. Now, that's not the case. And it's the precedent going forward. Is that where we're heading in the game now? That if you aren't whaling, you're not going to have any chance, like any realm of possibility of getting the newest thing on unlock day. And that will alienate a lot of players. Because it's not just your free-to-play players that this is impacting. This is impacting anybody who maybe would have soft-whaled, right? Would have lightly spent some money. They're alienated now. So I think this is just, it is such a blatant money grab, and it's ridiculous. And like and this is not at all directed at guys like Meathead and like Crumb, right? This was not their decision. This was a boardroom level decision that they said, hey, do this in the game. We need more revenue right now. We need to make Q3 look good. I'm very frustrated. I'm very disappointed in Capital Games, because I think that if you're gonna release her, then just make these guys farmable or something, or put them all in shipments. Like, break your little thing. So it's insane, right? This is insane. And like, if I look on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg right now, right? If I was to go there right now, and we go to units, I'm gonna switch over my screen here so you guys can see this. Let me make sure I can get that open. All right, so if I go here, right, and we go to Relic Player Data, right, and we go to the bottom of the list here. Wow, there's only 4 in the game. Now there's more than 4 in the game, right? If we go to, look, here we go. So there are whatever this number of potential Leias in the game, right? There's less than, you know, what, there's maybe 800... Yeah, 800 players, over 800, maybe, you know, that's not even 1,000, right? Like 900 players total who can start farming Leia, right? There are 900 players who can start farming Leia. That is unbelievable to me. Unbelievable that there's 900 players out of a total. If you look at the total Gear 13 for Darth Vader, you're looking at over 400,000, and 900 people are going to be able to start farming her shards today. You wonder why I say this is ridiculous. That is insane. So, yeah, I feel completely validated saying that I think it's ridiculous they did this early. And this isn't at all again, I'm not at all mad at people who weren't spending. It's the players who would have spent some money that now, just what incentive do they have at that point? Drogon hit shipments. Okay, I'm just going to start saving my crystals at that point. Like, it just, I'm very disappointed. I think that this was rushed. And now you have a very clear path forward. We're going to get Leia in Q3. We're getting this new raid in Q4. The next thing that comes out, another money grab coming in. And it's the precedent going forward that, hey, we're going to be releasing things before they're available to 99.9% of players. So, yeah. That's the rant, guys. I'm just so disgusted with this move because it's just purely financially driven. It's not driven by any, hey, this would be really good for the game if we did this. Like, this is a great decision. This is horrible, especially this change to the Leviathan. I didn't even touch on this. It happened in the middle of GAC. So everybody's GAC strategy was designed around the fact that, yeah, you know what? And I know it only impacts a single round, but still, how many players are going to lose their GAC? Because if they would have attacked before this fix happened, like, what, it just, yeah, I could go off. I'm going off. I'm not pleased. This is insane. capital games, you really need to make it good to everybody. One, to the people who like this raid was broken for and they were wasting tickets, and you need to make good to the rest of the community who's going to be suffering because they don't have Leia right away. I'm not even going to mention the Endor escalation rewards that were data mined because we don't even know, like, there was chances of 0 stuff. So, like, are you really going to leave that up to RNG for us? That's like, oh, you can get bronzium wiring. Nope, you got 0 of those, but you're going to get some chromium transistors because that's what we really need. Like, I'm up to here right now. I need to log off before I start saying some other words that are going to get me demonetized. So, please like and subscribe, guys. Again, I need to rant about this. We'll get back to return on investment and other things. For those of you still watching, go ahead. You know the drill. Comment that I'll have a pirate on my shirt. So like and subscribe. Comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.